What is up, guys? Dr. Pinesett here, answering one of your emails about MCAT test dates. Oh my gosh, you're studying for the MCAT, you're feeling good, you're feeling sad, you're all over the place, and you're wondering, wait a minute, am I prepared? Should I push my MCAT test date back? What should I do? This is the video for you, so check it out. But stop making excuses, stop whining, stop, right? Get at it. No excuses, just dominate. All right, guys, like I said, I'm Dr. Pinesett. I'm the study doc. I'm here to empower students. I'm on a mission to empower 1 million students, including you pre-meds and you knuckleheads out here who are about to take the MCAT. Taking the MCAT is a long, arduous, tortuous process. And for some of you guys, you want that process to be over so badly that you're willing to get a bad MCAT score just to say, I took it, I did it, I'm done with it. But I want to let you guys all know, I'm gonna skip right to it. I don't have to sugarcoat any of this. You need to really ask yourself a couple critical questions about your MCAT. By the end of this video, I hope that it's clear why it's so important that you understand when you should take the MCAT and when you should absolutely not take the MCAT. Let's get to the student email who sent this email to me. Thank you so much for sending this email to me. If you have a question, if you have a concern, and you want a real expert answer, send me an email, guys, and I will answer your email, and also I will get back to you on these videos. So here's the email. Hi, Dr. Pinesett. I watched the replay of your MCAT webinar from earlier this week, and I found it extremely helpful, but I'm still hesitant on what my next step should be. Let's stop there. In the box below, I have a link for my free 3-hour MCAT webinar. You need this information, so click there, get that. That's first of all. I'm a non-traditional post-bac student. I'm enrolled in classes part-time and work part-time. I graduated in 2018 with a sociology degree and a 2.9 GPA. I'm currently doing a post-bac in biological sciences, expected to finish fall 2020. Right now, my post-bac science GPA is 3.2. I took a Princeton review course, which I spent $1,000 on, and took the MCAT exam in January 2020 and got a 490. I plan to take the exam again in late June, but with all the changes and uncertainty, I'm feeling discouraged. With only a little over a month out, I don't know if it'll be most beneficial as far as drastically increasing my score 10 plus points to take your course, but I will gladly invest if there's any chance. I could really use some advice. My pre-medical advisors have not been much help. Thank you so much for your dedication and expertise. Best regards. So this is what the student said, and I'm going to deliver to you guys my answer. And the very first thing that I noticed about this email, and this is a learning point for you guys, is that for some of you guys, you try to use the MCAT as a cover-up for your terrible GPA. But what you guys are failing to realize, and this is what people don't understand, if your GPA is lousy, it is because most likely you were or are a lousy student. And I say were or are because some of you guys, instead of acknowledging the bad student you were and getting the help you need to revise and improve your study strategies and become a great student, you just said, no, that's the past, that's the old me, I'm gonna be different. And you think just by saying I'm gonna be different, you're different. You're not, you're the same student. You're that C student, you're that average student. So now if you've been an average student your whole life and you haven't made any real changes other than saying that you're gonna be better, what are the odds that you're gonna score above average on the MCAT? Let's be honest. If you've been an average student your whole life, were you not trying to get A's? Of course you were. Everyone is. But you were average. So now all of a sudden, on one of the most competitive exams anyone will ever take, the MCAT, you're gonna go from being average to not only scoring well, but scoring excellent. Greater than 90% of all takers? Does that seem logical? Particularly because the test is based on what? Your undergrad performance. So what you guys have to understand about all of this is the first thing is this student has a bad track record academically, and it reflects in the fact they took a Princeton review course and still got a 490. And a lot of you guys want to blame the prep class. You want to blame the class. I'm never a big fan of these big expensive prep classes. I think they're overpriced, but that's an argument for another day. Whether they're overpriced or not, if it gets you your score, then take the class. But the point is that people go in these classes thinking the class is going to save them from themselves. If you are not prepared to do the work, no class in this world is going to help you, as proved by all the emails I get from students just like that. And so now this student enrolled in my webinar, took the webinar, had the opportunity to get into my MCAT course to change their entire prep around because my MCAT prep is entirely different than what everyone else teaches. And they're hesitant because they're like, can your course help me get 10 points in a month? And what I said to the student was, let's break this down. No program can guarantee a 10-point score bump in a month, particularly when someone is going to school and works, the student's going to school and working. You took a $1,000 course and got a low score. The question you should be asking yourself is, are you going to be ready for a June test date to increase your score by 10 points with your current MCAT plan? And I said, if you were, you wouldn't be in my webinar and you wouldn't be considering my course. So the real question you have to ask yourself is, why aren't you pushing your test date back to allow yourself to get the points you need on the MCAT? And for some of you guys out here, this is the point of this video. This is the crux. This is the moment right here where I need you to focus in. Some of you guys are asking the wrong question. You're asking, how can I increase in this time interval? And instead of being real with yourself and recognizing I can't increase my score 20 points in 2 weeks. All these videos out here that tell you 20 points in 2 weeks are liars. Liars. You cannot do that, guys. It's not feasible for you to go from 490 to 510 in 2 weeks. What you have to do is push your test date back. And as much as it pains you to do that, it's what you have to do. We don't have a choice. We don't have an option. Push your test date and do it right. Because like this student who knew they weren't ready for the test in January, took the test anyway, got a 490. Now look at them. It's May, 5 months later, and they're same exact predicament, same exact boat. Because it's demoralizing. It's disorienting to take the MCAT, sit there, do all that prep, take the test, and get a 490. You know how bad that feels? Some of you guys out here, I want you guys to comment right now. If you're a student who studied for the MCAT, whether you did it independently or you did it with a class or a course or whatever, you worked as hard as you could. You sweat yourself to the bone. You sacrificed so much. You took the test, you got the score back, and it was terrible. How did you feel? I know you felt terrible, guys. We can be honest about it. Because when we set a goal and we don't achieve that goal, we did everything we could, it feels terrible. And what happens is, and this is the flaw in this, is that students see themselves as that low score. It becomes that label, that stigma, and they can't shake it. They struggle to climb that mountain of prepping again. And so I encourage all of you guys, before you put yourself through that, take a second right now as you watch this video. The takeaway is you are not ready to take the MCAT. Be honest, be real, as 𝐖𝐞𝐥𝐿𝐴 says. Just be honest. Just to be real. Come on. Be honest, be real. Push your test date back. Do the right thing for yourself and for your future. Something I say frequently to pre-meds. There are no partial credit for getting into medical school. There is no credit for participation. There is no credit for the attempt. You only get credit for what? Succeeding. And for some of you people out here, you're content with just saying, oh, I took the MCAT. Oh, I applied. As opposed to saying, no, I dominated the MCAT. Oh, no, I dominated the application. Oh, no, I got into medical school. Because that's the real objective, is to become a doctor. It's not to say I was once a pre-med who took the MCAT, who applied to medical school, and coulda, woulda, shoulda been a doctor, because you ain't. Do we understand what I'm saying right now, guys? If you are not ready, don't let yourself or other people shame you into taking the MCAT before you're prepared. Get it right, get the score, get to medical school. It's that simple, in that order, right? All right, so I'm Dr. Andrew Pinesett. I'm the study doc. If you want to learn more, get into one of my amazing courses or one of my coaching programs, get to my website, studenttransformation.com. Studenttransformation.com. I transform students, y'all. I'm on a mission to empower 1 million students. That's what this channel is about. That's what my podcast is about. That's what my social media is about. That's what my website's about. So if you want to be transformed, you're in the right place. If you're here, take a second on YouTube, take a second, subscribe, toggle that bell, turn on those live notifications. If you're on the podcast, take a second, subscribe to the podcast, y'all. If you guys didn't know, whether you're watching me where the other place, on YouTube, it's /TheStudyDoc on YouTube. On the podcast, you are watching this right now. It is the Dominate Pre-Med Show. So get over to the podcast, get that so you can get on your drive wherever you're at. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate you guys here. Do the right thing. As we always end. How do we always end? No excuses, just dominate. See you guys next time. Today is the day, guys. No more excuses, no more complaining. You're going to take your future in your own hands. You're going to dominate. You're going to be successful. Get to my website, studenttransformation.com. I challenge you. What are you going to do today to make your life better?